Since I was a very young boy, I got big dreams. I told everybody I'd be rich.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Broke Boys. I'm Martin, and today I have a special guest, a really big one. I'm so grateful that we were able to make this happen. Please introduce yourself to everybody that's watching and listening.
Hey everyone, my name is Brandon Beckwith, originally from Fresno, California. I'm the founder of International Artist Project and executive producer of The World album, which we'll get into here in a moment.
Yeah, I love that. And I just have a quick question: is how'd you run into my page, like Broke Boys and all that?
So I haven't told you yet. Actually, my mom sent me a reel of you guys at the Fresno Fair, the one with Mario, and of course, and yeah, I was watching it, and then sure enough, just investigative skills, I started checking in. I was like, oh, these guys are pretty cool, and they do podcasts out here. All right, we need to get a little hometown attention on this World album, and thank you for answering. So it worked out. But shout out to Mom. So yeah,
shout out to Mom. Yeah, exactly. When I had told DJ, I was just like, wow, like this is crazy. I saw your message and I was like, yeah, we definitely got to get this one on board and get it going, just because you have such a busy schedule.
Yeah, I make it work. So when you're passionate about something, it doesn't seem like work. I'm just living. So
right.
Yeah,
that's good. So were you born and raised here in the 559?
Correct, yeah. So I'm 37 right now. I was born right at St. Agnes Hospital. So yeah, in Fresno. I lived here till I was 25 years old. Yeah.
Oh, dang. That's dope. That's dope. We get to meet other people that are out here from Fresno doing big things. Like, again, like for you to reach out, and I was just like, I'd seen it. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, whoa, like the heck? Like, this is huge. This is incredible. And I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
And you're definitely one of a kind. You're unique in your own way.
Thank you. Yeah. So even though it's like a lot of questions will definitely be about, my journey for the podcast and things like that. One thing I do want to say is it took at least one artist from every country of the world to make this possible to say yes. So definitely, I may have been the idea guy and the driving force, but it took a lot of people to make it possible. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to everybody on International Artist Project, including my boy Levels over here right now. He's out of camera frame, but he's a huge part of this project as well. So
that's good, man. That's good to hear. So born and raised here, before the whole Grammys, the Billboard features, and all the global travels, what do you remember most about growing up here in the 559?
Always having to be creative to have fun. So I love Fresno. I mean, it's my hometown, but sometimes, there's not as much stuff to do here as you maybe have in the Bay Area or in Southern California. But yeah, I just remember always coming up with crazy ideas, some good, some not so good, just, to be able to, and enjoy your time here, but also still be productive. So, but yeah, I love Fresno. I love coming back here as much as I can to be able to spend time with the family, and
That's good. That's good to hear. So, what part of Fresno did you grow up in?
A little all over the place. So, parents separated at an early age when I was 6. So, they were in separate spots, and they both moved every 2 years. Right. But I originally went to Liberty Elementary School, so it was a little bit nicer in the beginning. Right. And then, my parents were all over the place. I mean, if I named off everyone, the podcast would, so it'd take the whole podcast, but so.
That's crazy. So was it hard? Was it challenging, having to move different places or?
No, not really. I was used to it. I enjoy it.
To fit in, right?
I think that's why I move around so much now. So, don't like to stay in one spot for too long.
That's good. So when you were starting out, did you ever imagine that you were going to be that kid from Fresno that was just going to go around the world and travel?
No, definitely not. I mean, I've been passionate about music my entire life. I'm not a professional, but I played piano since a young child. I got into hip hop and rap music, and out here there wasn't a ton of connections for mixing engineers, mastering engineers, promoters. So kind of had to learn it all yourself. Right. But no, the original dream was to be an artist myself, and then about 3-4 years ago, I kind of gave that up. When this idea hit a couple of years ago, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Felt like a responsibility rather than just an idea when it came. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
So when did it kick in that this was going to be the project for you?
So I had never left the United States until I was 34 years old. As I mentioned, I'm 37 now. I barely got a passport at 34 years old, and I booked a one-way ticket to Cairo, Egypt, to go see the pyramids. I didn't want to just go be the European backpack traveler like you hear everybody normally does. Did a few days in Egypt, and then sure enough went into Europe after, and went to a lot of countries just for fun at the time. But I fell in love with Amsterdam. You know, everyone knows Amsterdam is like, oh, smoking and this and that. There's so much more to Amsterdam. It's such a beautiful city. You know, I know my friends had the opportunity to be able to visit as well, and that's kind of how the process started, as I'd fell in love with the city. So when I came back to California, I knew in my heart I want to live here. And within 6 months, I had left everything behind. I was living in LA at the time, and I left out there. And then it wasn't more than a few weeks later that I was just walking through Amsterdam, just feeling just the passion, the culture, just the beautiful landscapes. And it just hit me, just the idea hit me. Like it was like a download. And within, moments, I felt like I could do it. It was going to take a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice, but I just dropped everything. I didn't even finish my complete relocation to Amsterdam. I just immediately started traveling. Right. So, yeah. So,
damn, that's it's a huge accomplishment from switching from one atmosphere to the other. And definitely being like, you know what, I'm going to be fully committed into this. Like, wow. Like, yeah.
And as more and more artists started to join the project, it became more motivation and energy too, because now you have people that rely on you to fulfill that dream. Because if I'm coming to someone and saying, hey, I'm going to find one artist born in every single country of the world, like, trust me to be on it, it's going to take a couple of years to build this album. There are a lot of people just waiting to see, is it going to happen or not? Right. And once you start reach artists from 100 countries, and then you reach 150, you just can't stop. So
the next thing that I don't know if you've said it yet is, so how many countries have you hit?
That I actually visited? So I only had to visit 31 countries in order to find the whole world. So originally I thought that I was going to have to visit every country, and I'm not a rich man, so that was going to be tough. And the idea came to get A&R agents. For those who don't know what A&R agents are artists and repertoire, so they're talent scouts for the most part. Right. And so as I would travel, not only would I look for an artist, I would also try to connect with people that would be willing to come onto the project team for freelance work that would help find an artist from a different country. And that sped it up so much because I had found artists from 110 countries myself, and agents found 90. So I might have still been searching right now.
That's a lot. So
even my parents, my mom even found 6 artists, and my dad found 2, which is crazy.
Keeping with
and my sister
family,
found
right?
1. So yeah.
Yeah, that's tight. That's beautiful that the family's involved in it as well.
Connected a lot of people, which ended up being the most beautiful part of this whole thing. Was a little analogy I thought of the other day was, I felt like all the artists from all the different countries and all the people involved were like shoestrings, and the world was a shoe. And every time we kept pulling on those shoestrings more and more, it wasn't just getting the project and the artist closer, but it was bringing the world a little bit closer together. And people getting exposed to cultures and genres and languages that you may never had without this project. So,
So which one? If you want to spill the beans, but which was
we're here for
which was one of the hardest ones or hardest artists to actually, get?
Without, you want to take a guess first? Because I know the answer, but you want to guess? North Korea, absolutely. So the way the project was built was where artists were born versus just living there, because someone can easily move somewhere, spend 10 years there, and is that really a true representation of someone born in that country? So rather than artists representing their countries, I always said it's you're representing as the artist born in that country. So it took 14 months to find an artist from every country of the world, and it took an additional 4 months to find the artist born in North Korea. Wow. He defected at, it was either 8 years old or 9 years old. He had left, and I believe his parents got caught and then escaped again later. But he went on like a 3-year mission through China, through Thailand, through a bunch of different countries in Southeast Asia, and then looped all the way around to South Korea, where in South Korea, they just consider you Korean. If you escape North Korea and you get to South Korea, you're automatically given citizenship.
Yeah.
So luckily, just one night I was sitting down. I was actually in Fresno at the time, and I was just on my phone, deep searching, and he popped up. I was like, why did this guy pop up now and he hasn't popped up the million other times? It was just, and I reached out to him, and then about 3 weeks later, on Christmas Eve, he hit me back, and I remember he just said, "Sounds interesting. What do you need from me?" And I was, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it was a great feeling. But that and Vatican City, the artist from Vatican City was tough. Technically, we didn't need to get an artist from Vatican City because there are really only 193 countries, but there are some, Vatican City, Taiwan, they're unrecognized or recognized states. So, but I wanted to be thorough. So I'd slept 2 nights outside of the Vatican City walls. Wasn't supposed to be doing this, but I, even when guards would come or people would come, I just politely, told them like, I can't leave. I'm on a mission. I need to speak with someone to be able to get someone from Vatican City. Right. And sure enough, after 2 days of struggle, and I think them just seeing me out there, one guard got me in contact with their culture and education department, told them about the project, and within hours I had an email, and Marco Fresina, he's a Vatican priest at 70 years old, assigned to the project. So, yeah, so Vatican and North Korea were tough. Yeah. So, very tough.
Dang, the balls to be sitting there, like, knowing that there's guards coming up to you. Like, I think after maybe, like, one of the guards that took, my bad, bro, I'll leave. But
they were understanding, so, but, I mean,
but that's incredible, though. Like, you're dedicated and you were so driven of, like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm here on a mission.
It had to be done. Our planet needed a world album, so,
yes, absolutely. So, which country was your favorite one to visit?
I mean, Netherlands, baby. Like, so I love Amsterdam. Just I would go back there. In video games, how you run around for a while, then you got to go back to the save point and reboost your health and stuff. That's how Amsterdam felt for me. If I was running low on passion or a little tired, I just use it as a hub, and I would go back there. And I spent so much time in Amsterdam that there are actually 9 artists from around the world that are on the project that all live in Amsterdam, So I was constantly connecting with people there, but yeah, it's my favorite place in the world. So it's the birthplace of this project.
So was being born in the country the only criteria, or is there any specific genre that you were looking for?
I mean, of course, they had to have some talent. They didn't have to have released anything. That was one big thing because some people didn't have the ability to be able to release music. I mean, about 60% of the artists from Africa had never released before in their lives. So they had to be born in the country. They had to have some talent, and I based it to the best of my ability that they could do it. And most importantly, they just had to see the vision for it. So it wasn't anything political. It wasn't any, raise the flag of peace. It was just an ambitious music project that could have a good impact on the world. So I just wanted the people to see that and be communicated. But it worked out. It just, everything from the beginning of this project has felt like the pieces have just laid, and one domino after the next has just fallen perfect. It almost feels out of my control. It felt like walk the path and it's going to open for you. That's how it's always felt since the beginning.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. So was there any point in time where you were like, okay, I got this artist lined up for a specific region, and then all of a sudden it falls through?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, all the time. Yeah. I mean, even after artists, so all the artists are connected. So when they would come onto the project, we had a group channel on Instagram because you could fit 250 people on a group channel on Instagram. So I connected all of these artists. So there was a sense of community, but also a sense of responsibility because now you're with all these people. You've given your word that you're going to be the artist from your home country. Obviously I had the biggest responsibility of continuing it going, but every single one of them had an equal shared. So, but we actually had to replace 14 artists along the way, which, 14 may not sound like a big number, but man, it was tough because you get to a point where you're like, do I replace them? Do I keep holding out for them to be able to answer? And, yeah. So, yeah.
No, I get you on that. That's incredible that you had all this responsibility in your hands, literally like just I gotta showcase this. I gotta.
Yeah.
So,
It was a blessing for sure. So
yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. So, was there a point in time where you probably felt like, man, I can't do this? Like it was almost like impossible to achieve.
Yeah, I knew those moments were going to exist. So how I said in the beginning when I had the idea for this project, it just felt like a blueprint download. You know, one of the things I remember thinking about that first night was there's going to be some days, you know, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be traveling or if it's going to be a financial situation or what it's going to be, but you need to let those days exist. So I told myself, you know, maybe 90% of the time you're going to feel go, passionate, let's keep going. But you need to embrace and accept that 10% of the time it's not going to be great. So that opened up a path for me to be able to accept those moments. But yeah, I'll never forget that same time that one of the times that I was visiting Fresno coming back, I was sitting in the room, and something about going back to your hometown sometimes, you know, you just feel a little bit different, you know.
Right.
When you've traveled, it's not like that depressed mode, but you feel a little lower, like being in your hometown sometimes when you're traveling. And I remember just breaking down in front of my sister because we were about 130 artists deep, and I was just, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to find these other artists. Like there's some of these artists in Africa I can't reach. And I remember my sister and I just sitting there, and her encouraging me. And that moment helped a lot because I wasn't going to give up, but that was a really, really tough night.
Yeah.
So, and we're 130 artists deep. I mean, out of 197, that was, you know, you're over the hump, but number wise, but it's not that way. There's a reason that those other 60 were missing. It's because they're difficult.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. So you've mentioned meeting all the artists.
I've met about 43 of them. Yeah,
Right.
so about 43 of them.
You've even said that you met some that were just performing in the streets. That were
Correct.
homeless.
Yeah. So I won't call them out exactly, like just, you know, but they yeah, for example, you know, my friend here and we were traveling. He met me we were in Belgium, and we were just walking, and we saw an artist playing guitar, busking, you know, for money out there. And, you know, sure enough, I went up to him. I know we were hanging out trying to have a good time, but I was like, give me a moment, you know.
Yeah,
so
like, hold on, work.
Yeah. So he got some good pictures and video of it when it happened too. And yeah, I remember going up to the artist and interrupting him during his set and telling him about the project. And sure enough, he stayed on the project, and I still see on his Instagram every day he's out there just playing his guitar for money, you know.
Right.
So, and there's a few other artists in that situation too, because in the end, you know, we have some definitely heavy hitters on the project. You know, the artist from Kuwait has a combined over 25 million followers across her social platforms. You know, the artist from Trinidad and Tobago is probably the reggae queen at this point. I mean, she's giant. We have an artist from Papua New Guinea that has accumulated 1.4 billion streams on YouTube alone.
Wow.
But then we have people that were homeless. We have people that just, you know, strummed a guitar and gave a sample to another artist in order to help make the album complete, because status didn't matter. That was one important thing. Status didn't matter. It was just about community. So
Yeah, absolutely. So with 93 languages, 121 genres, and one album,
yeah.
what does unity through music mean to you after hearing all the voices come together?
As people always say, music's a connector. This was a whole another level of showing that is possible on a global scale. I mean, if music didn't exist, this project wouldn't exist. There wouldn't be, you know, 200 plus artists communicating, following each other, inviting each other to go perform at festivals together, which has happened a lot, collaborating on music. Music can be a lot more than I think we see it as. Of course, we should always keep it about the art. Music should be something to enjoy. It shouldn't be used for, you know, self-gain or for other things. But unfortunately, it happens. But it was great to be able to see such unity and just amazing work come out of something that music technically birthed, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And that you helped create.
Yeah, I'm grateful. Sometimes I wonder if it was even my idea. It was just something that fell from the sky, and I happened to be walking past it one day. So,
yeah, but you were the one that executed it, and that's big. That's huge. So, was there a moment where you finally were like, you know what, like, let me listen to it. I'm finally done. I finished the project. What was that feeling like of finally?
So I still haven't had that moment yet, but
Okay.
because there's been a lot going on. But we actually released. Can you actually hand me that black one right there, the part 2? So we actually released a prelude album leading up to the world album
Right.
in November, and that was a build up to be able to get all the artists hyped and get the world album going.
Right.
So yeah, so this was like the prelude album, International Artist Project Part 2. I don't know if that can be seen or not.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you. So that album, I got to sit back and listen to and analyze and enjoy once we did that while we were building the world album.
Right.
Yeah, I would even do videos on. I did like a video on YouTube where I sat down and listened to the whole thing without breaks. That one was 9.5 hours. Right. But I haven't got that moment yet with the world album to sit down and just listen from start to finish with everything now behind us.
Right.
Spent a lot of time building it and putting it in order along the way, but I haven't yet had that moment. So
yeah, it still hasn't sunk in yet.
I think that'll just be when everything really calms down. Maybe it'll never calm down. That'll be great, but yeah, I want that to be a special moment.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
a personal moment.
So you were on the billboards.
Correct. Yeah, on Billboard magazine, the Grammy contenders issue.
Ooh.
Yes.
That feeling, what's that like? Explain to the listeners how that feeling is.
It was good. I mean, growing up, when you hear about Billboard, or we were featured in Rolling Stone MENA, the Middle East and North Africa Rolling Stone as well. It's a great feeling, and again, I'm not trying to sound too cliche here and overly humble. Like, of course, it's a great feeling personally, but every time something happens, when we were considered for the Grammy for Best Global Music Album, when we're in Billboard magazine, just today, I haven't announced yet, but we just found out we won Best World Music Award for International Music Artist Award. Yeah, so I just found that out today, which is great. I haven't even told the artist yet.
Wow.
But I'm getting these pieces of information, and I get that little moment where I'm like, yes, but I get to tell 200 plus people now that they're doing that, and then they get to tell their families, and it's just this crazy ripple effect because, in not every part of the music industry now, but it's so much competition. If one artist is doing really, really, really good, it's diluting a lot of other artists. But for this, if one artist gets a big newspaper mention, or another person is on a magazine, or someone that has a lot of followers mentions a project, it's a team effort. When one person wins, we all win. And I love that about this.
Right.
So yeah, it's a great feeling. So, but we're not done. We're going to keep going. So it's easy to say we're finished. These are all the accolades that have happened, but we're not done. So,
right.
Yeah.
So another question I want to ask is royalties and all that.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah. So for this project, everyone always thinks this is crazy, but I chose to not take anything from the artist. So they keep 100% of their music ownership, 100% of their music royalties, and then in all their contracts, they're encouraged to utilize half towards something good in their home country or anywhere in the world.
Wow.
So automatically, it uplifts these artists. I know royalties don't pay a ton right now, but the album's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So over time, it's it's like a little stock that builds up. But yeah, there's already been a few stories, nothing major, but one artist out in Malawi is helping kids get some music equipment for a school from the last album from some of the royalties. The artist from the Netherlands is running open studio sessions for people to come and learn like uplifting trance music. There's another artist in Malaysia that's going to be donating to a charity. So just hearing of all these different things where music is actually empowering the world as well. It's a great feeling. So, and I'll be honest, it was also easier. It was also a path of least resistance to let them keep it, because I had to do contracts with over 30 music labels because a lot of the artists were signed to labels.
Wow.
So it's a lot easier to negotiate nothing versus even, hey, let me get 10%.
Yeah.
So, and it made it fair for every artist. And for every future release we're going to do through this project, it's going to stay the same way. That's the business model. Take nothing, give everything, so.
That's good. That's tight to hear that you are really for the people, for the world, and it wasn't out of greed. It wasn't out of
Not
like,
at all.
you know what, I'm gonna make my money out of this. No, it was definitely for showcasing the world.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And you were talking about maybe even creating the international festival.
Yeah, so International Artist Festival is the next big step. Now, I understand that's going to take some time, but yeah, it'll be the first festival to feature artists from every country of the world. Now, a lot of people talk big festivals and then it falls apart. You know, I don't want this to be one of those things.
Yeah.
So it's definitely it's a dream versus a commitment, and it's going to take some time to get there. But we're going to do some cool things along the way. You know, it hasn't been completely announced formally, but there's going to be more international artist project albums, and it's not going to be another world album. There's going to be new concepts, which I won't mention now. But you know, these artists keep wanting to make music; they want to collaborate together. So we're going to keep the project pushing and doing cool things along the way.
That's good. That's cool to hear too. Like, you know, who would have thought like that you would be in this position? So seeing that, like, if you were to see your younger self, and you know, he would be proud of what you've
Yeah, I hope so.
came, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But looking back at your childhood and even growing up and seeing what you've accomplished, what's something that you would tell yourself to your younger self if you were to see yourself?
Don't stress about the future. Just keep walking. I think a lot of the time growing up, you know, some of the schools I went to were a little bit nicer schools, you know, Clovis West, things like that. But unfortunately, like, parents didn't have a lot of money, so you're kind of in like the lower class of the upper class schools.
Yeah.
So I think just seeing a lot of kids, you know, getting those big scholarships, you know, rolling to school with their, you know, maybe a Mercedes or BMW at like 16 years old. You know, all the power in the world to them, and you know, shout out to their parents that were able to do it. But
Yeah.
I think just growing up, always wonder, you know, am I going to be good enough? I'm going to be able to do something powerful enough. And this is one thing that definitely, even though I didn't make any money or, you know, have any like major accolades off of it, I feel complete, and I feel like I made it. You know,
No, for sure.
you know, that's another subject I'll touch on. Is a lot of artists, they always say, I want to make it, and I think a big problem with artists is they're not defining what making it means.
Yes.
Because a lot of people get so far and they still feel like they haven't accomplished it. So one thing with this project, you know, I'd been doing music almost 20 years, and I told myself, you know, when you complete this project, you need to consider yourself that you made it in your own heart.
Yeah.
And I do feel that way. And it's not in a cocky way. It's in a very humble way that I set out to do something and I did it. And anything extra is just sprinkles on the ice cream. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful to hear. And that's, man, like, I'm speechless just knowing that you went through all this and yet you created something literally out of nothing.
yeah.
And that's beautiful, knowing that you got with an idea, you had it in your head, and you were like, you know what, I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna achieve it, and never like having no fear into it. And I'm pretty sure you probably had your doubts, you know, you had your moments like you were saying, but no, that's huge, man. And it's beautiful for someone to be out here and saying, like, you know what, it's for everybody from the country. And it's for every representation.
Yeah.
It's for the world.
As I always say, I think if there's one saying I want to go down, like, you know, for anything I said, is, you know, this album was made by the world for the world. And that's really what it is, you know. So of course people might have their reviews or their criticism on certain parts of it, but as far as the scope wise of the project and the meaning behind it, it's made for all of us, you know. And I hope that there are more world albums, whether it's something that we do every decade, or that someone else picks up and does it. I don't think it'll be someone copying the idea. I think we need more global music. So, yeah.
Perfect. What's one thing you think Fresno and the world could learn from this album?
Man, if you, I'm not just trying to build up streams when I say this. I'll be honest. But listening to this album really expands your mind. And if you're a music creator, or if you're just even an everyday listener, because you may not know exactly what the artists are saying through those 93 different languages, but you can feel it. You can really feel it. All of the different music genres that are on here, you might learn to move a little bit of a different way. I didn't even know what amapiano was, and now I'm like, well, this is my favorite genre. So there's an artist from Lesotho near South Africa where when I listened to it, I'm like, I would have never heard of amapiano. So for music creators, if you want to up your game a little bit, you know, listen, get exposed, because some of that vibe might pour into your sound. And if we keep doing that, it's really just going to connect the world closer. It's going to be more experimental with music genres. And yeah, for the everyday listener, just the album was built to listen from start to finish. It wasn't just random scat. You know, some of the most time I spent was ordering that album, you know, from 1 to 200. It's placed there for a reason. So it's if you don't have a passport, this is your throw on a pair of headphones, and it's like your virtual passport for a journey across the world.
Dang.
So
That's tight, man. So, with everything that we've talked about, if your whole legacy could be summed up with one sentence, what would it be?
one sentence is always hard for me.
One sentence.
Oh, one essay. No, just kidding. Honestly, as simple as it sounds, is music can truly connect us all. And this is living proof of it.
Yeah. No, you definitely are. And you know, before we wrap this up, tell everyone where they can find the World album and how they can follow you, where they can check you out and everything.
Yeah, as far as for finding the World album, I mean, you could type in anywhere, the World album, International Artist Project, and it should come up. It's on every single platform, even platforms you may not have heard of because we had to be global here. So, and on Instagram, it's at International Artist Project, but it's at international_artist_project. And you can get all the links to there, check everything out. A lot of artists have told their stories. They've done testimonies. You could really tap in and, you know, follow the other artists. And yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. We got the website too, www.internationalartistproject.org, not .com, but .org. So
yeah, we'll make sure to plug that into the descriptions and everything for you, so that way people can get quick access. They can see what your work and everything you're doing.
Nice.
It's incredible, man, to see somebody from Fresno representing the world, not just the city, the whole world.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
I'm
man.
grateful for it. Yeah, and also thanks to Peter Wolf too for Wolf Sound Studio for letting us use the studio. I think this is the coolest studio in all of Fresno.
Sure.
So,
and it's crazy. You were
this.
saying this is a full circle moment for you because you were literally recording here, right?
Yeah,
for yourself.
Yeah, it's my mom's ex-boyfriend helped build this studio like a long time ago, and then but I ended up connecting with him a whole different way. So from someone that I used to do music with. He used to date their aunt or cousin or something. But yeah, I recorded in here as an artist probably 50 times between the ages of maybe 18 and 30. So
wow, man.
Yeah, full circle for sure.
Full circle moment. Yeah.
I love those moments.
Yeah, exactly. And then one thing that I wanted to bring up before we end this is when we were texting, you said like, you know, you wanted to represent the album for the world.
Yes.
And that you wanted not to shine light, just like you had said something that really popped up, and I have to go back into the DMs.
No, go ahead.
Because, because it popped up to me because I was like, what the fuck? Like this is like full circle for me because I remember saying that.
I remember you saying full circle. I don't remember what I said before, but we'll bring it up.
I got to bring it up for sure.
I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday.
So you said right here, everyone says they want to put Fresno on the map, and tomorrow it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's a full circle moment because I remember talking to my manager and talking to my other co-host. I used to say that very early on, is that not a lot of people are representing Fresno. Not a lot of people are doing it the right way. And if I'm going to do this and I'm going to be committed to the podcast, I want to make sure that I'm able to put Fresno on the map.
Yeah. Well,
and I remember that like stuck out, and that always like played in the back of my mind. And then when you put it down that you were like, people always want to put Fresno on the map.
Yeah. There's
like, wow.
I mean, again, humbly speaking, everything humbly speaking. But yeah, I mean, you always hear that saying, like, let's put Fresno on the map. And, you know, this may not be that moment where it truly, truly does. But I mean, you know, automatically there'll be at least one person from every country of the world checking out this podcast, you know, when it drops, and that's global, you know, so, and they'll be sharing it through all their social medias. You know, there's over a combined 35 million followers from all the artists. So, you know, depending on how much it gets out there, it gives an opportunity to shine light on Fresno. So because this is where we're from, you know, this is where we're built. So
it's the hometown. Yeah.
So whatever I was able to make me to be able to build that album, you know, a lot of it was rooted here. So, I'm very grateful for, and I'm glad we were able to connect too. And make this happen. So
thank you for your time, man. And I know you had, we didn't whip out the Billboard magazine. If you want to bring it,
grab
it so
why
we can
not?
show it to the camera. And then you also had a record player, or your vinyl. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Perfect. Here, I'll try to double the. Yeah, this was the
whole magazine.
Billboard issue we were featured in. So we're on page 319 here. So I actually opened up to that pretty good. So but we were grateful to be featured in Billboard magazine. So it shows we're up for Best Global Music Album this year at the Grammys. But what's great in here is it was a really history in the making, because for the first time ever, an artist born from every single country of the world is a Grammy considered artist. That has never happened. And for the first time in history, an artist has had music featured in Billboard magazine from every country of the world. Again, never happened. And I mean, we've hit a lot of all good. Yeah.
It came out. My bad.
Oh, okay, all good. But I mean, and there's been some other thank you. There's been some other major landmarks with the album too. I don't think I mentioned it, but it was also the very first known music release to have streams from every single country of the world, other than North Korea, because they don't have access, in the first 7 days of release. Wow. So when I jumped into Symphonic, my distribution platform, and I was clicking around and seeing how we did, like 4 days in, I realized, oh my gosh, we've had streams from 183 countries. We're only missing 14 countries, so I just targeted those and the artist pushed it, and sure enough, in 7 days, we had streams from every single country except North Korea. And we're pending 3 Guinness World Records right now: one for most languages on an album, one for most music genres on an album, one for most countries participating. But we're also going for the fastest stream release, because I see Taylor Swift be getting all these crazy records for her release. So, and she's getting them the next day, and I'm like, man, we got to get the world album on this too. So Guinness, if you're listening, let's hurry up. So all the love, but let's keep it going. So
Well, huge congratulations for you to make this project, and huge congratulations to all the artists that are in the album. Your guys' sacrifice and your guys'
thank you all. Thing. Yeah. So I mean, just I love you guys. You're literally family for life, and you guys know it. But whatever you need, I'm here. So all the way through the career. So. Let's go international. Yeah. So.
Oh, you guys definitely are, man. Well, thank you so much for being on here, man. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. So thank you to the crew too. I know you guys don't see the crew, but shout out to the crew. So. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for staying tuned for another episode. We love you guys. Peace.
Do you ever stop to face it when the mirror shows you what you hide? Caught in the blur, not sure who you are, but there is no way around. Sometimes you see someone that's you, but other times it's someone new. What you have been hiding from is 7 years of bad luck.